Well, obviously, the week after the Australian Grand Prix, we're delighted to have won the race and to pick up a second podium as well. A great start for Lewis and Jensen. We were talking to the number one mechanics on the car as they were building them before shipping them out, and saying to them, it'd be nice to bring back some silverware for these boys. Huge relief. I think that we have wintered well. No complacency at all. You know, it's one race, it's a good one to start well. We've got a competitive car, but it's very tight at the top of the grid, and there are a number of teams who can and will do well, I'm sure, in the next few races. But it gives us a good platform, and a platform on which we can now push. And I think confidence that Lewis and Jensen feel that they have a car underneath them that they can really push hard as well. But nevertheless, it being the first race of the season, there's a huge amount of workload that comes from all of the discovery that you have over the weekend. So you work out, as you're testing in anger for the first time against the competition. Some of the processes work, some of the processes don't work as you'd expect them. There is a continual series of upgrades and things. And the hard work really starts now for the whole year. Well, of course, the Malaysia Grand Prix, the next race, is hard on the heels of Australia. It's a back-to-back race for us, with just the 1 week apart. Many of the team and the cars will have stayed out in that part of the world. It's inefficient and nonsensical to come all the way back, only to fly back out to Malaysia. So I head out armed with a whole load of packing cases and bits and pieces, some upgrades, some repairs, some service parts. But the majority of the team will have stayed out in that part of the world, getting ready for what I think is going to be a very different race from a temperature point of view. It's obviously going to be very warm in Malaysia. Track temperatures will be very different, humidity will be very different. The drivers will have to manage their hydration levels very carefully through the weekend, as will the team. Even a small percentage drop in hydration really affects the concentration, and for the drivers to be in peak condition for an hour and a half, really pushing, then we watch that very carefully. As a circuit, it's an exciting place to race at, and if you've got a car that's reasonably well balanced from an aerodynamic point of view, that can be really good to drive. Going out to Malaysia is always a lot of fun. We like racing in Malaysia. We get a good crowd there, lots of fans, and of course now with McLaren.com holding or being able to have some of the commentary in the local language, then for our fans who are out in Malaysia, they'll be able to watch this and pick up in Malay, as well as for the rest of the world who want to watch it in English. And I think that's a nice feature going through the course of this year, that we're able to customise the site to the local race. The competition is fierce in Formula One. It's early, very early days. We're delighted to have achieved a win in the first race, but we go just with the same level of anticipation. We go with the intent to win, always, of course. We'll see what happens.